Welcome to the Personalities of the Virtual Venezuela. I have the pleasure to have my first conversation in English about Venezuela and then the personalities that are abroad, living abroad with Sonia Tucci, which is in the UK. How are you, Sonia?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me. Really, really feel honored for being invited to you.
Well, this is a very artificial conversation because two Venezuelans talking in English. This will be somehow funny, but let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
So, Sonia, I ask always the people like you to tell the audience how long they are living abroad and how they came to the place where they are. So how is your case?
Well, I came to the UK in the year 2000, and I came to study initially. So I used to work in the Los Andes University in Merida. I'm from Merida. And I got a scholarship to come to England to study, to do a PhD. And initially I came for 3 years to London, and I found a job here, and then I just stayed, and now I've been here for almost 21 years. Yeah, I just stayed.
So in the same job, or you changed?
I changed. I finished my degree, and then I found a job, and as a postdoc in Reading. I lived in Reading for a year. And then in Reading, the guy I was working with here, I don't know now, but when I came, you had to have a work permit with a visa, and you had to be in the same job. You couldn't change jobs. So the guy I was working with got a position here in Liverpool, and I had to basically follow. And I was lucky that I got a position as well in the University of Liverpool. So, and I like it here, and I got established here. So now I live near Liverpool, at the north of Liverpool, in a little village called Formby. And I've been living here for 17 years almost, yeah.
So you are in a teaching position at the university?
Yeah, I'm a lecturer in a psychology department at the University of Liverpool, yeah.
Well, that is very good.
Yeah.
So, and in Venezuela, you were teaching, or you were in another type of occupation?
I was teaching in the Faculty of Medicine. I taught there for 8 years, roughly, yeah, after I finished my degree, and then came here, yeah.
So more or less continuation from your career, only you changed the topic a little bit, yeah?
I changed the topic a bit. I still teach roughly the same, but psychology students obviously don't need that much as medical students in terms of, like the medical knowledge. But yeah, and because I'm in a psychology department, I've learned a lot of psychology, because I'm not a psychologist, but I really like, that topic as well. So, yeah.
So, in my case, we are now in year 2000, in this year 2021, we are 40 years graduated. So it's our anniversary, 40 years. And we are getting together with some of my, let's say, classmates of that time at the university. And we are talking about whether what you study in the university really helps you to develop you in your career, or you change, or how you accommodate the knowledge of the university into what you are doing in the 40 years of professional work. If this is something that you say, okay, it was good, that curricula, or it helps, or is a mixture of some other things. So how is it in your case? You are using the knowledge of the university, or you are improvising or learning?
Well, it's mixed, because when we went to uni, we didn't have Google. So you had to learn, you learn from the books, and we didn't have a lot really compared to what we have now. We didn't have all the journals. We only had books and what the teachers told us. We didn't have PowerPoints or any of that. So you had to learn actually a lot. Now, I think you don't need to learn a lot because everything is there. So, if you Google it, it's there. You only need to know that it exists, the information. And I consider myself lucky enough because I had to live through both, you as well. So we learned, and now we know we don't need to learn everything now because we can Google it as long as you know it exists and you can adapt. So in a way, it makes you more resourceful to have both. Yes, I would say so. So the system has changed, and I think education eventually will have to change because it's not about teaching kids things and memorize stuff like we had to. It's just teaching them where they are really, more than that the things exist, but you don't need to make them memorize all the capitals of the world because you Google them, but you need to know where they are. You need to make them basically resourceful rather than knowledge machines.
Yeah, they have to have the capacity of analyze what they are getting and compare results and take the best results possible. So just they should be having a criteria that is good enough to select the best solution. And probably the people are now doing self teaching themselves and learning alone and accommodating to the always changing society very quickly. So
yeah, I think you need to now basically you need to teach them how to be critical, how to be wise, how to be because now we have the problems of fake news. We have the problem of how social media can influence you in a really good or bad way, especially young people, like in terms of body image and eating disorders and all that. And we need to teach them to be basically critical, that not all they see is true, all they see on Instagram or these influencers. I think that's where we should go, not just giving information, because it's, as I say, it's there. Also be good with money, with taxes, learn how to do life stuff that we need now. And I think we haven't caught up in education with that.
Yeah, see, I was thinking the other day that let's say the word and the written language came because there were no way of recording voice or filming. So now that we have the possibility to do filming, so I think many things could be just that. I mean, a little clip telling you what before was a page. A4 page is in a little clip can be explained. So do you think that in the future the people will be needing the written material like before, or this will be substituted by more and more videos and podcasts and these kind of things?
Well, probably because as you say, if the information is there, it doesn't matter how it gets in. And a video is visual. You can really, we still probably need to learn how to write and read. But I think in terms of learning, it doesn't really matter as long as it's good, where it's coming from. Yeah, you're right. We wouldn't need that much reading probably, and it will be more like, so more about critical and analytical rather than factual, I'd say.
Yeah, you can be a very good, educated person that is looking at the news in films, in different TV spots on the internet, and without having you don't need to read a single newspaper on that day, but you are well informed. While in the past, only people that were digesting all the newspapers of the day, they were the well informed people. I think the situation is changing.
And also it's brilliant because now we have podcasts, for example. You don't even have to have the video. You can listen to a podcast while you're commuting, for example. So you're doing two things at the same time. You're learning and commuting, whether before you just had to read the newspaper at home or, I think if it's used properly, social media and the technology, it's brilliant.
I think things will change in the future. And these people having, for example, legastheny and the things they will have better now, because probably they don't have this impediment when they are learning or reading or writing. So they are verbally well. Maybe the problem that was filtering them from from the rest of the community was the fact that they were having some problems by writing things.
Yeah.
So do you think that this accumulation of knowledge, 24 hours accessibility of knowledge, changed already the way we understand things, or we still are very raw in understanding the world?
Oh, I think it's the way you approach the information, because that still needs to be in, you need to have some education when you're little. And you have to develop curiosity, you have to develop critical thinking, because the information is there, but without, it's too much now, actually. So you should be able to filter. That's more important now, because everything is there. And you have to be curious, and you have to be, well, willing to learn. And yes, it's different. Of course, you still need all the practical jobs. That's another thing. Now we have all these people now, like in pandemic, in lockdown times, learning from videos, but you still need to learn some practical jobs. You have to learn them. You know, how to be a plumber, for example. That's that difficult to learn just from videos. So yeah, I think.
And also the science fiction is becoming very realistical. The way it's presented in videos, in films and these things. So for the people, it's not easy to distinguish now what is real and what is not real. And imagine that you are not allowed to go out to the world and check it. So you may, buy things that you think they are really happening, and they are not happening because you were not there to check. So I think we have to have the possibility still to experiment ourselves with our senses, that the things are really there, and so that we can have a proper judgment.
Yeah, I agree. And also you still need the social contact and see other people. Like now you see children, like they always just looking at the computers, they don't interact person to person, and probably they lose into how we read body language, for example. But on the other hand, if everybody is like that, in the future, we won't be able to read body language anymore. I don't know, maybe that's going to be fine if everybody's the same.
Yeah. Or you will have other type of body language.
Exactly.
You are more concentrated maybe in the face language or things like that. Or how is your camera language? How is your equipment language? So the noises that you are giving through the system, because your system is better than the others. And
we don't know. Yeah, it's as it is evolving. We'll see what will happen. And lockdown has taught us a lot, has taught us that we can work from home, that we can learn from home. We had, a full year now in university just online, and we've managed. So we can manage with technology. Well, we adapt. I think we adapt to everything, whatever happens.
So Sonia, you are also known as one of these people that are doing biking during the vacation time, during the holidays. So you are not doing a normal tourism. You are doing a special tourism with your own body as an engine to bring you from one place to another. So what can you tell us about that experience? What that type of experience?
Oh, it's fantastic. If you like cycling, I think everybody should do it, because it teaches you so much. You meet so many nice people. I haven't had one bad experience. It teaches you that, you don't need a lot, actually, because I can go for a month with just 2 bags that I can attach to my bike and a tent, and I'm fine. I mean, I don't need anything else. You can camp, and you realize how little really you need to be happy. You need reasonably good weather, I guess. And that's it. And I know people that have done it for years. They just cycle for years without needing anything. And Oh, it's a fabulous experience, meeting people. You get to go to so many places you will never go in the car, because you wouldn't stop everywhere. Whether on the bike, you can stop, go follow rivers, any little village, stop for a coffee, meet people. Fantastic. I think everybody should do it. Everybody should do
But
it.
you are doing on regular basis biking, because I think it's not good for people that are just biking for holidays. So it's too risky. So you are doing I mean, on weekly basis, some training, or what is the situation?
Oh yeah, I cycle 4 or 5 times a week. So I whenever I can. In the winter, maybe some days I can, but I'm always cycling. Now in lockdown, it's easier because I can go on my lunch break. When I was working, I used to go to the gym, but you have to keep cycling. And also, very importantly for the bike, you have to keep your bum, because if your bum hurts, it doesn't matter how fit you are, it's going to be agony. So you have to have a healthy bum that will allow you to cycle for a month, because otherwise it's too hard. You need to keep cycling basically all year round.
So that's part of the thing. And also, I suppose you also are one of these persons that can put one bike, repair it, and taking apart, and do their necessary repairs of the bike, or changes, or because when you are probably doing this kind of tourism, you will not find a place to repair it in every corner. So you have to bring your own spare parts and the things, or how you do it.
Yeah. I did the bike maintenance courses. I did the advanced one, because you're right. You need to be able to fix most things. Like if the chain breaks, for example, you've had it. The derailleur hanger, if you cycle, always bring with you a derailleur hanger, because if the derailleur hanger breaks and it's the weakest part of your bike, it's gonna, that's it. And I don't really go to very remote places. Like some people go to, places like a desert, or a road where there's nothing. I've been in Europe, so it's not too bad. And I've been also very lucky. I always say that when something bad happens, some angel comes to help me. So some bad things have happened, like my rack broke once, and a guy just appeared and fixed it, out of nowhere. And I've had that several times. So when something bad happens, somebody helps you. But as I say, I'm never like really, really far away from, like calling a taxi. I have my phone, and it's like, and I use a website called Warm Showers. So I stay with cyclists. So if I'm staying with them, obviously they would know where to go. They can come and pick you up, or they can take you to a bike repair shop. But yeah, I've had pretty bad stuff that, somehow it gets fixed. An angel comes or something happens and it gets fixed. Yeah.
So there is an app for these warm showers, so that you can know who is closer in case something happens, or how it works.
The Warm Showers is a website. It's similar to couch surfing, but without the bad connotation, and also it's only for cyclists. So it's a website, and you sign for it, and it's basically cyclists around the world, and you can stay with them for free. So it's family. You can choose, families, anybody. And if you want to come where I am, I'm one of them. So the idea is that you get here by bike, and you sleep here one night, and then off you go, but you stay for free, and they can offer you, depends, like you can stay in a tent, or you can stay in the garden, or you can come in the house. Some people don't like it if you come in the house. Some people will give you food, some people won't. In general, it's fantastic because they're all cyclists. So when you get to their place, you're friends already because you have the cycling in common. So it's never like weird or awkward, or it's always been great. And they know the area, so they give you great advice where to go. And yeah, so when I go, I would say half of the time I stay with them, depending, of course, there's places where there's none of them. So yeah.
So, and also probably if you have any defect on your equipment, you can also talk to them and see where is the best place to find the parts and these kind of things.
Yeah,
locally.
take you to a bike shop, and so usually these cyclists know how to fix bikes as well. You know, that nobody's really hasn't got a clue. They always know and have parts and stuff. Yeah.
Well, that's very good. And now let's talk a little bit about your baking experience. So you are also famous because you do very nice, I suppose, small cakes or party cakes or whatever, and also chocolates. So how you came to that?
I came to that because after the 2010 or something, when there was that economic crash down, they were saying they were going to sack a lot of people from university. So I said, oh, well, I need a plan B here in case, you know, they sack me because my kids were young and I have a mortgage. So I did the cake decoration course and I loved it. Absolutely love making cakes. And I carried on. So I've been making and decorating cakes for over 10 years now as a hobby. And then I just started doing chocolates. Now with chocolates, it's different because with chocolates, you really need to sell them because there's no point making chocolates and then eating them. Well, there is, but it's not So I started making chocolates about 2 years ago. And I sell them in fairs. You know, these fairs they do in like villages or here, like in the churches, halls, or so I take the chocolates there and sell them in those fairs. And between them and my work, I work constantly. I never ever stop. I work from 8 in the morning till 9 every day. If I go to work, I come home and then before lockdown and work solidly from 6 to 10 every day. But I love it. I don't mind. I just like.
So you have like a calendar where of the fairs when they will happen, and then you are preparing for them ahead of time.
Yeah, well, you sign for the fairs. We start again. The next one is 17th of April, and hopefully it's going to be on. You sign for the fairs, and you can have one every weekend. Actually, you can have Saturday and Sunday if you want, but that's a lot because you have to drive there. You have to put up the stand. You have to, you know, stand there for like hours. But it's a lovely way to meet people and having, you know, conversation with people, and I like it. Yeah, so then of course when you sell the stuff, then you have to come home and make more. You have a week to make more chocolates and bonbons, and you want to make more and more ideas, and people want more, and it becomes like a lot. Yeah, it's very challenging, but I love it. I love the challenge. I love the having to do new things. And it's the same with cakes. Every cake has got something different, so you learn a new technique. Yeah,
I think it's a very good opportunity to do something every weekend or every now and then in other villages and get to know people. And I think it's a nice activity. And what is your opinion about the chocolate? It makes people intelligent or not?
Well, they say that if dark chocolate is supposed to be good for you. So yeah, I love chocolate. I love sweets. But it's supposed to be healthy and good. The dark one, because the other chocolate's got a lot of sugar in. But if it makes you happy, it's okay. It's okay. You can have as much as you like.
You know, I was having a problem with my liver that was fat liver. And then I did, you know, all these checkups and the things. And I have a conversation with a person that to talk about the diet I should go. And one of the things that they recommend me was to have this dark chocolate, because everything that is having this strong taste is okay for the liver.
Yeah.
So I was surprised because I was of the opinion that this is somehow fat, but it's not a problem. The way if you eat it, it's okay for the liver.
Yeah, dark chocolate's good, and they say it's got substances, you know, for protect against lung cancer, and so it's good, and it's got it hasn't got that much sugar in, and because it's not that sweet, really, we don't tend to eat that much. It's not like having a really nice white chocolate. Well, if you like white chocolate, you have a lot, or cake. You see, dark chocolate.
Yeah.
And now they have even 100% chocolate, which is really bitter. And I make one with that's sugar-free, because now they have very good sweetness that don't leave an aftertaste. So you can have sugar-free chocolate. And it's
Well, coming back to the Venezuelan case, is many times in Vienna I can find some chocolate that are having this chocolate from Venezuela, from Chuao, and they say it's one of the best chocolate of the world.
yeah.
So I buy them and I keep it for when I go to some people's house. I bring it as a present.
Yeah, yeah. We get some here as well. Yeah, some chocolate from Venezuela. Yeah.
So we are at the end of the conversation, and I ask always the people to give some words to the people that will listen to this conversation, so that they stay with this for a while, with these wishes or phrases. So I give you the floor.
Oh, get a hobby that you love. I think that's the main thing, something you really, really like to do. Once, because it makes your life easy, nice and enjoyable, and also because when you get to retirement, you already have something else to look forward to. Because if you only live to work, then once you retire, you realize your job can be done by anybody, but nobody can live your life. So you need that, really. So yeah, anyone you think your job is, you're very important, but you're not. Anyone can do your job, but no one can live your own life. So you need to organize your own life. That's my my advice.
Yes, I am with you, and this has to be done at the proper time. You cannot start with the hobby when you are already retired. Of course, you could, but the best results is if you are starting early enough. So not to wait till the very end to develop these kind of activities. And there is always time for everything in life.
Yeah, well, we all get the same time. I think we all get 24 hours a day. And I think it's all about priorities. Is what is a priority for you. So when you say I haven't got time, is you do have time, because as somebody said, you say you haven't got time, but if your boiler breaks, suddenly that becomes a priority, and then you have time to fix the boiler. So that means that, it's all about priorities, really. It's not about time, is it? Because we all have the time.
Yeah. I think always you only have to probably write down what are the things that you are doing during the day for a couple of days, and then you can see where is your time really going. And then you can say, okay, this I really don't need. Let's substitute that for something that is more for my health or for my future, or these kind of things. Like we are talking about activities that can help you to be happy in the future and keep you active in the future. So Sonia, all the best for the 2021, and a lot of health, and that everything that you start will give you happiness, and you will enjoy it. So thank you very much.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. It was a pleasure to talk to you. Okay, and it's an interview in English. It went well, actually. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
It's a little bit of strange, but I am satisfied.
Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah.
Okay. Take care.
Okay, bye.